Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Renovation Sportfish. I took my winter break as I scheduled, and over the winter break, things happened or came to a head, or whatever you want to call it. But the winter break wasn't just about a winter break, and I'm going to go through that. Basically, I had some surgery done, and it wasn't planned out at the time, but it was something that was building up, and there was things leading to it. So anyways, that's why I'm not making videos right now, but I plan to be making an episode hopefully at the end of April. I'm hoping to put out an episode because I plan to work on the boat in April, but I didn't want to wait till then to get you guys updated, because I feel it's important to keep you guys in the loop what's going on with not just the boat, but the boat builder. So anyways, how this video is going to work is I'm going to talk about the surgery, what I had done, and what led up to it. Because I turned 60 this year, and my core audience is kind of around my age, and it's something that you might deal with, or somebody's dealing with. So anyways, I'm going to go over that a bit in the beginning. Then I'm going to go make it on a lighter side. I'm going to show you some of the projects that I worked on over my winter break, because I did want to take a winter break from the boat and YouTube anyways. So I'll show you those, and then tomorrow, today's a crummy day, but tomorrow I'm going to go over to the boat, and we'll walk around the boat a little bit. I actually cheated and went to the boat a couple days over my winter break to do a few things, nothing major. But we'll go over there, I'll talk about that, and what I'm going to be working on in April. So here's the first segment of Renovation Bob. All right, well, let's just talk quickly about this whole surgery thing and what I had done. And like I said, it might be of interest to some people out there just because of my age of my core audience here and gender. So I started my career in the the power industry, turned into the nuclear power industry. And so I've always had physicals, basically my whole adult life. No longer in that industry, but I still kept up my physicals. And for the most part, I've never had to have surgery. I've never had to have anything. I've never even been out sick for a long period of time from work or anything. So nothing physically that I could see or feel was wrong with me, even when all this came to a head last year. So what actually pinpointed it was the blood work that was done with these physicals. Because you do have the fun physical part where they look for an enlarged prostate, but that wasn't enlarged, so nothing was showing up there. But the blood work has what they call the PSA, and a high PSA indicates prostate cancer. So mine slowly was creeping up year after year after year, very slowly, creeping. Last year it reached a point where it had to have some further investigation. So what happened was, over the summer, I had a biopsy done, which was really 12 samples. And that procedure was not the funnest or most comfortable procedure, I would say. The result was they did find some areas of low-level cancer in that. So that was followed up by an MRI, which gave a better picture, actually, of the prostate, and that showed some more areas that they said, well, it might be suspect. And so scheduled another biopsy. That was supposed to happen in early December, and I thought by the time I took my break at the end of the year, I would have a clear picture of what was going on, so I could share it. But that didn't happen. They had to reschedule that appointment for some reason, and I didn't have it done until January 23rd. So when I did my last video, I really didn't know what the status was overall, and so I didn't mention anything with it. I just figured I'll just do it later on. Well, that results of that came back, and was mostly low-level cancer found where they found it. I should say low-risk cancer. But it was in enough areas that I was right on the edge of the scale, I would say, that they use, and having it over 50% of the samples put me over that edge. So that put me into the category where I actually had to have something done. So my options were radiation treatments or surgery, and I looked at both, talked to the radiologist, talked to the surgeon, and I decided for me the best thing was surgery. So I also had I got surgery scheduled. I thought it was going to be pushed way out, but it ended up being March 15th. So I didn't have that much time to like ponder over it. After once I decided to do it, they scheduled it pretty quick. And between that time in February and March, I basically had a bone scan to see if it got in bones. That came back clear, so that was some good news. And then I had my pre-op physical, which came out fine. So yeah, so today's March 25th, it's a Saturday. I had surgery March 15th, 10 days ago. Feeling really good at the moment. Surgery took 4 hours. It was robotic surgery. And yeah, I stayed overnight in the hospital, and I was discharged the next day. They said, "Oh, went good, and you're looking good, and we'll discharge you, get you discharged and get out of here the next day." So I was home the next day in the afternoon. Now, I'd like to show my stomach. They went through my stomach, basically, which I was surprised that that's where they go through to get your prostate out, but that's where they get it out. And so they went through my stomach, so I want to show just my stomach, because if you're thinking about it, or you're interested, or you know somebody, maybe you want to see what it's like. And it wasn't that bad. So let me show you that, and then get on with the story. All right, furnace is running in the background, but that doesn't matter. So I'm gonna lift up my shirt, and about the count of 3. If you don't like this kind of stuff, it's not really that gross actually, but I'm just going to show it anyways, so you can see what I'm dealing with here. So on the count of 3, I'll pull up my shirt, and I'll talk about what you're looking at. So 1, 2, 3. All right. So don't mind. I'm not going to blame my stomach bloat on the surgery, because that was well underway before the surgery. But I guess the main thing is right here. This is like a 1.5 inch cut. That's where they pulled everything out of. So that's the only thing that's actually stitched together. Those stitches will actually melt away. All these other areas, they look bruised and everything, but they're not really. These are just slices they cut in you to stick in things like cameras and all that kind of stuff. So there's a few of those around, but they don't hurt at all. And that stuff there is really just the glue that they glue your skin together with, and that'll peel off eventually. So I mean, I'll get back to my face now. So all in all, it wasn't really that bad. I'd say the worst part of the whole thing is the catheter that I had to wear, or have installed, for 10 days. That was not the fun part. The first 2 days I really hated that thing, but I tolerated it after that. So I got that out yesterday, and I'm feeling like $1,000,000 today, because oh my God, yeah, that was something else. I won't lie. So where does that leave us now, or leave me? I'm in recovery mode now, and what does that mean? There's a couple stages, I would say, to recovery. The obvious first one is just having all this heal up and be able to move and do everything I can do. Like I said, I can move around fine. I can go up and down stairs. I'm fine with all that right now. Perfectly fine. I can actually drive now, so I'm good with that. That's going well. The other part of the recovery is being able to control urination. That's going to take a while. They say 3 to 6 months. So I've got like these pair of diapers or a pad I got to wear. Basically for males, the prostate helps control the bladder. And once it's gone, you're relying on your muscles down there, like women have to do. and we don't have them built up because we're used to the crutch. So I have to do some exercises and get that going, and then once that's going, then that'll be good. But that's not a big deal either. Got the pathology report back. It looks really good. It looks really promising, and the surgeon's really happy with how things went. And I go back in 3 months for another PSA check, and hopefully we don't see anything going up. It should be like 0.002 or something like that, where it was like over 6, I think, before. So anyways, that's coming up, but he, like I said, surgeon feels like everything's out of there, and we'll have to see and wait. So I'm very optimistic that I'll live to have this boat in the water. So anyways, where was I? So that's it for recovery time. Recovery time, physically I can't lift anything over 10 pounds for the next couple weeks. Then I can't lift anything over 20 pounds for another 3 weeks. So we're talking about into May before I can lift anything. And I plan on sticking to doctor's orders, by the way. So I'm going to work on other smaller projects. I'm going to finish off what I've got going on back here, which I'm going to go over these projects in the next segment. I say this project, not projects. There's the other project in my car over there that I worked on. I'll talk about that too. And then, like I said, in the next segment after that, I'll take a trip over to the boat and we'll talk a little bit about boat stuff. So that's my story and that's my status. Let's move forward. Okay, so what was I up to this winter for my break, besides surgery? It was building these 2 bar tops here. Now these go on a cabana that I built up on my pool, and I will bring you out there and show you that in a minute here. Actually, I have 3 bar tops. One of them I already built like 5 years ago. These I started, didn't get very far with them. I've just had temporary ones out there, and I thought it was time to get these done so I can have a full bar setup out there. And yeah, so the construction is mahogany, sapele on the top, and all the trim around the sides. And this one I've already got pretty much sanded and routed around the whole thing. This one I just put this trim on before I had to stop and have my surgery, so that's kind of still has to be sanded and routed there on the edge. And that's 3/4 inch. That's all attached to, if I can get down here gently, you can see it. You can see where it was screwed to a piece in epoxy, to a piece of marine grade plywood, a nice piece, and that actually has a layer of fiberglass on it, and it's been sanded just for abrasion resistance, for sliding the thing in and out, because these are removable, so that I can take them off and finish them, and I don't like to leave them out there in the winter. So that's the next thing I got to finish before I can jump back on the boat. I got to varnish these. I'm going to use the same all wood varnish that I used on the boat. I used it on the other bar top. It's been that way for 5 years, and I'm going to go show you that one right now. It's on the other side of the basement here, waiting to be installed. Okay, so here is the one that's been completed, and that's been varnished like that for 5 years outside in the summers and spring and fall. I pull them off in the fall and install them when I open the pool in like April. So it's about that time, just about. It's like the end of March right now. So that's what they're going to hopefully look like when I get them varnished. So in the front here, you can see my engine hatches for the boat. I have them in here laying flat because I had them laying on my other side of the garage where I just was in my shop on their side for a long time. Last year or the year before, I don't know. And I brought them to the boat and they were kind of warped a little bit because I never fiberglassed the underside of the plywood, which was kind of dumb. So anyways, I should have done it. I did it on everything else except for these. So anyways, I'm letting these sit like this for a while. Once I clear out that other side of the basement over there, my shop area, I'm going to make some jigs, or one jig, so that I can mount these things flat and fiberglass the underside. So, but they're just too awkward and big for me to do anything with right now. So I'm just leaving them there for now. And I'll get to them as soon as I can. So let's go outside and check out the cabana. I designed and built this thing. All these doors open up here. I built all that from scratch, all those from scratch. I need to touch up on the paint, but this is one of the temporary bar tops I leave on in the winter time, because we're out here in the winter. And this is the one that I actually finished, the one in my basement. You can see I have the brackets on there. So these ones, there's one on this side, there's one on the other side like this one. These are the ones I'm building now. I'm gonna have to put brackets on. But that's it, still decorated for Christmas. Yeah, so I'll revisit this when I actually put the bar tops in, and you'll see the whole thing opened up and what it's like. And yeah, we'll have a beer. Yeah, her weekly startup now. It's got a little bit of a skip in it. I got to mess around with the timing. And I probably got to pull all the plugs out of it and clean those up, because I tried starting out with bad gas and everything. It's probably all messed up. And they probably got to be cleaned and checked and everything. But anyways, that's it. A little moisture coming out of the exhaust air just from sitting. But yeah, so I think I'm going to not sell this car right away. I'm gonna hold on to it a little bit, at least for this year, use it. Just with everything's gone on, you know, I want to just have a good year with it before I part ways. I will part ways with it, because I want to have the space in the garage, and I want to put the money into the boat, so, and I don't use it. So anyways, that's my car, and it's running. So that was a successful project. All right, so here we are at the boat, kind of just how I left it. Yeah, sat here all winter. I was over here a couple times, I'll admit it. Once to get the snow off of it early in the year. It's pretty mild winter. Only 2 snowstorms. Only one was really worth coming over and brushing the snow off. That was quite early. So kind of kept to my word, not coming over, but I did come over. I will admit it. Beautiful day today. It's like 60 degrees. March 26th, I think. They're supposed to be getting rid of some of the junky boats around here. I thought they were going to start already, but I'm going to lose a few of my neighbors, I think, in this one. So hopefully they don't. I think mine's one of the junks, but we'll see. So let me unzip this thing. I need 2 hands, and I'll get back to you. Yeah, here we are. It's nice to be over here, actually. I'm really loving just coming here. I know I'm not working. There's nothing more going on in this video for work, but it just feels good to be over here. It looks like my my shrink wrap was leaking a little, the staining down here. Once I get the decking in, it'll actually go out the scupper there, but right now it just collects in that corner. So I know there's tons of leaks in this thing. I'm planning on getting it re-shrink wrapped this year, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, let's see what to start with. So I did come over here a couple times, and I sanded the stringers, the outer stringers there's one there and one over here. Apologize, I cannot lift these things up. It's way over the weight limit I'm having to adhere to right now. But I'll just tell you, I sanded half of the stringers, half of the length of each one. So I think I have like 1 day where I can come over here. I don't have to take off the center one, but I do have to take off these here to get in there. And hopefully by May I'll be in good shape and be able to do that. I think I will. So anyways, that's one of the projects I'm going to get to, but not right now. Here you can see there's three temporary hatches. So I've already told you about the reason why the other ones aren't over here. But you can see this one's a little newer looking, and the reason why is when I was over here getting the snow off the top, I was just looking up like this and pushing the snow off this stuff here, and there was no hatch there, and I fell right in there. Luckily I didn't get hurt at all, not even a scratch, but I could have busted a leg or an ankle. Oh my god. Next day I was over here, I built this, so it's all completely hatched up now, so no more of that scariness. The other thing I did, and I'll just see how this is, up in here, where it's kind of wrinkled up at the peak there coming down, you can see there's like some brand new framing, 2x4, or actually is it 2x4? It might be 2x3s. I added all that framing, those actual pieces that run in that direction fore and aft, because that was really sagging with the weight of the snow over the years. It just keeps getting more and more flimsy and saggy. So that did a good job, I assume. It only snowed one more time after that, but it worked out good. But that was something I did over the winter. Another thing I did was, here's an example here. This is spliced together. This had cracked under some weight, and this was actually tipped down like way like this. So I reinforced all these areas here and pushed it up because this whole frame here was like hanging way down. It was the same on the other side too. So all the areas where these splices were, there's another area here, I kind of redid these. And up in front there as well, you can see the one way up here. I'm not going to climb up there because I don't think I can, but right where my fingertip is, there's like 3 large pieces of wood. That was like totally cracked and broke because that was sagging down so much. So I had to do a lot of work on that one to get that reinforced. And so now the whole shrink wrap area is much more reinforced. So that was it. I think this is going to be my project right here, this whole thing. I'm going to take this door off and refinish it. I did a part 1 to this door. I think I'm going to do the part 2. It's very lightweight, and I'll varnish it and put the window in, and varnish the other side too. So that has to be done. The other thing, actually before I do that, is this piece right here. There's a filler piece that goes up in here that attaches to the hatch, and it drops down and covers this area. So I got to build that, and as part of building that, I'm going to have to make a support on here to attach that to. So that's going to be done. I'll show you the piece that was on there before. Alright, so these are the pieces that were on the hatch. This is the actual piece that kind of flipped down like I was talking about. It's hard to kind of visualize, but it was hinged at the top here, and then it's just I'll hold it up. I'm not in front of the door, but I can't reach that far. Oh, there you go. So that would be it. That piece just flips down and kind of goes up with the hatch, with that hinge. So the hinge has to attach to something on the hatch. And yeah, I think this was this was the piece that was on there. You can see where the hinge holes were. So yeah, I think this was, yeah, you can see the screws that were holding it up. So this was kind of just screwed into the hatch, and then the hinge went on here. So I just have to build something like that. I have to do a lot of fairing up on the top here. You can see where there's some little holes and stuff. That was my attempt to try to get the warp out of this thing. It's like warped everywhere. And I'm going to just grind all this gel coat off here and fiberglass all that and fair that all out so it's a nice curve to it and not like dipped and warped down like it is now. So I'd like to get this hatch done, this filler piece done, and this door done. And those are lightweight projects that I can work on with my restrictions, and it'll move the project forward. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode, and I am going to call it an episode somewhere in between when I started and when I'm finishing up here and doing the editing. I decided to keep it an episode. It was just going to be an update. But since I'm so integrated into this boat, it's just me and the boat. There's nobody to pick up slack when I'm down and out. I think it's part of the story, and I want to just keep it as part of the story and the documentation of restoring this boat. So thanks for listening to me ramble on here in this episode. Now, as far as the next episode's going to go, hopefully once I finish those bar tops I was showing you, I'll get onto this over here. Maybe even get onto this before that or during that. I don't really know. But it's the end of March right now. I'm hoping through April I get a chance to work on that there and get some progress, and then hopefully get a video out at the beginning of May. That's going to be it. It's great to be back in the video business here in the boat building thing, and my mind is more clear now that all this other stuff is hopefully behind me for a while, and I can just enjoy this year and not be anxious and yeah, the way I was last year was bad. So anyways, ups and downs and everything, and not knowing was not good. So anyways, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I think it's time to just sign off here. So until I see you again, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.